Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Alhamdulillah. Shaynu, let's begin. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to say, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُعْجِبُكَ قَوْلُهُ فِي الْآيَاتِ الدُّنْيَا وَيُشْهِدُ اللَّهُ عَلَى مَا قَلْبِهِ وَهُوَ أَلَدُّ الْخِصَامِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, among the people there are some who will dazzle you with their qawl, with their speech in this world. On top of that, they make Allah as witness what is in their heart. But Allah says they are the people who hide something deep inside and they are very quarrelsome. Their nature, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, they are very quarrelsome. But basically in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to a group of people. They are called munafiqun. Munafiqun means people who are hypocrites. You know what is hypocrisy? Hypocrisy? What is it?
When you say you say you're a Muslim,
Ah.
but in deep inside you're not a Muslim.
Correct. They say something outside, but actually they don't mean it inside. Allah is Al-Basir. He sees everything inside out. So Allah can make it out. For us, we can't distinguish. We have to take people on their face value. So in Medina, there were a group of people who declared themselves as Muslims. And they used to come to the masjid, pray with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But they were not Muslims. They were not. Allah knew who was it, and later on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our prophet, that those people are not Muslims. They are praying with you, but inside their heart there is an hypocrisy. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wouldn't have been able to know unless and until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him. You understand? Yep. So it was a challenge or a hurdle which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to face in Medina when he was there, because some of the people, they acted like Muslims, but they were not Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing, referring to those group of people in this verse. Next. Then what happens is, وَإِذَا تَوَلَّى سَعَى فِي الْأَرْضِ. These people, they come to you and say one thing, saying that, we are Muslims, we belong to you and all that. But when they go back and in the land, they spread corruption, in the sense لِيُفْسِدُوا فِيهَا. In the land they spread corruption and they destroy the crops and the cattle and all that. And Allah says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْفَسَادِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like people spreading corruption in the land. You understand? So those are the people, they had some evil things in their heart. From outside, just the fact that in the Medina there were a lot of Muslims were there, and they just wanted to act as if they were with the majority of the people and acted as Muslims. But when they went back on the earth, they spread corruption. They did all their bad and evil stuff in the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I am watching them and I don't like people who spread corruption in the earth. Okay, that's a point which we need to take on board for our current situation as well. We should not be of those people who spread corruption, in the sense destroying the crops or destroying the land or the sea or whatever it is. It's all creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's our responsibility to maintain it in a healthy state. So that is why we are not supposed to throw the waste and plastics and all that kind of stuff. We have to be environmentally friendly, and that is from the Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it very clear that we have to live in harmony with everything around us. Okay, that's what the lesson we take it from here. Now, next, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُ اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when it is told to them to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what they do is they become very arrogant with their sin, and فَأَسْبُهُ. And Allah says, so those people, say for example, if Muslims tell such people that be conscious of Allah, don't spread corruption in the earth, don't spread mischief, they get angry, or their arrogance comes on board, and they might fight, they might quarrel and all that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have prepared Jahannam. What is Jahannam?
Hellfire.
Hellfire. Allah says, for hasbuhu Jahannam. For him, Jahannam is enough. Fire is enough. Wala bi'sal mihad. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rhetorically asking, what is the worst? Jahannam is for them, Jahannam is enough, and it is the worst place to be. Allah says. Next. Then Allah says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ. This is beautiful. So far we talked about hypocrites. Those people who don't have goodness in their heart, but from outside they, sweet talk and all that. Then other group of people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to one of the companion in Makkah. He wanted to become a Muslim. People have already migrated to Medina, but there was one companion. He became Muslim and he wanted to go to Medina. Who are the opponents of Muslims in Makkah? The group of people who used to oppose Muslims. They're called?
Quraysh.
Very good boy. So the Quraysh people, they were there, they had power, they had money, and they are, all the thing. Majority of the people were Quraysh. So they said, if you want to become a Muslim and if you want to go to Medina, you can do that, but you have to leave everything back. So whatever the things each he has earned in his life, all the wealth and money and possessions and all that, if you leave it with us, you can go. And he had to literally leave everything, and still he continued to become a Muslim, and he said, I will be traveling to Medina to join Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he left everything. And how many kilometers are there from Makkah to Medina?
I don't know.
We talked about 440 kilometers. 440 kilometers roughly. He went all the way to Medina. When he was reaching Medina, what is Allah's name? One of the names? The one who sees everything? Allah sees.
Samir.
That's this.
Al-Basir.
Al-Basir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching what's happening in Makkah. This person has been asked to leave everything, and he still leaves everything to become a Muslim. Sacrifices. Allah says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ from the people, there are some who sacrifices himself. Actually, basically in Makkah, becoming a Muslim means your life is in threat, because you can be killed by those people as well, because he was by himself. All the Muslims are now in Medina. Then Allah says, so such people are ready to sacrifice their life for Islam. Then why they are doing it? ibtiqa'a marlatillah. They are only seeking the pleasure of Allah. You are not going to get any reward in this world by saying La ilaha illallah at that time, during Makkah time. Actually, you lose everything. Still, they want to become a Muslim and stay as a Muslim. That is purely because they wanted the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For such people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wallahu rahufum bil ibad. For such servants, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very rauf. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, your trade will not be lost. Whatever you traded by sacrificing your wealth and health and everything for Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate for that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh who you who believed. So this is addressing the Muslims of that time and us as well. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dhukhulu fis silmi kaffa. You enter into the fold of Islam completely. Wala tattabi'u khutuwati shaytan. Don't follow the footstep of Shaytaan. Who is Shaytaan? Iblis and its descendants. Everyone, all together, they are people of Shaytaan. They are Shaytaan, the descendants of Iblis. Iblis is the main one who was there when Adam alayhi salam was created, and all his offsprings are Shaytaan. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. Indeed, Shaytaan is your clear enemy. Who is our enemy as according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Shaytaan. What does he do? How does he mislead us?
He start by saying do this, and then ends up making us do bad things.
Correct. Does he, have you heard about the word waswasa?
Yeah.
It is in one of the surahs. Which surah is that? Surah An-Nas?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Waswas. Basically what he does is, he says, Shayan, It's prayer time now. That's okay. You can still finish watching this YouTube, whatever you're watching. You still have time. Isha is still another 1.5 hours to go. You can play. You can pray later and all that. That is a waswas. It puts the thought. When you get that thought, that in your mind, if you start feeling like, oh, Maghrib Adhan is gone, but I still have time. If you are starting to think like that, you can confirm that that thought is coming from Shaitan, because you are thinking along the line of disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by not responding to his call for prayer and continuing to watch this YouTube, whatever series you are watching. So that is waswas. Okay? So we need to be careful. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He is your clear enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, enter into the fold of Islam completely means you can't say that, oh, today I don't feel like praying Dhuhr, but I will pray Asr later on. That's okay. That's enough. You can't say that. If you are wanting to become a Muslim, you have to enter into this fold of Islam completely. You can't pick and choose. Do something and omit something. No. If Allah has asked us to do something, it has to be done completely. You understand?
Yes.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to completely submit ourselves in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obeying His commands. Number one. Number two, say Ameen. Number two, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the waswasa of Shaytaan.
Ameen.
Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa akhir dawana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.